Why does everything feel like a luxury now? And I don't even mean buying a house. I mean like getting your hair cut without freaking out about the cost, or buying new clothes because all of yours are worn out, having your own place, or even having a little bit of savings. Like those all used to seem like things that were just part of normal adult life, and now it feels like something you have to reward yourself with.
This economy is strange because you can save all your money for a week and spend all of that money that you save for a week in one day, and you try and get ahead, right? Like every time you save some money, it's like an emergency or something. So it makes for a weird economy for a couple reasons, because we're already living at a undesirable wage. Even the people with bachelor's degree, even the people with master degrees, you're living at an undesirable wage. And the gas prices keep going up, the rent prices going up, the mortgage prices, the income tax property, and it's hard to keep up with your cost of living, let alone save any money. Honestly, I don't see how parents do it. I don't have any kids personally, but if I did, I don't see how I'd be able to budget even with 2 or 3 jobs in this economy. I guess they get government assistance, I'm not sure, because like I said, I'm not a parent. But yeah, this economy has to be one of the most wicked economies of all time. And it's not even like we're doing worse as a society. That's the most insane part about this economy. Everybody talking about tech and AI. And honestly, some people aren't even losing. But the majority of people are losing. And that's the reality of the American economy. If you agree with this message, make sure you like, share, repost. If you don't, leave a comment and let me know why. Peace.
Hey YouTube, everywhere you look, people are saying they finally saved up some money only for one random expense to wipe it all out like it never existed. So today, we're going to be looking at a bunch of different clips talking about why money feels tighter than ever, while also breaking down why it's causing so many people to feel stuck. At the center of all this is one simple problem. It isn't that people suddenly forgot how to manage money, it's that saving feels harder to maintain when normal life keeps getting more expensive.
It's no way around not living check to check. We all live in check to check at this fucking point. Because you want to live in a good neighborhood, right? You don't want to live in the hood. Bills and shit, all this shit is not doing nothing but going up. The average fucking apartment, 1 bedroom is like $1,500-$1,600. Especially if you living on your own.
And the only people that can't comprehend this are people that don't have real bills. This economy is crazy as hell. And man, don't let something happen to that car. That'll be the shit that'll push you over the edge. And like, this is literally the reason why I don't have that 50-50 provider, whatever argument, because you have to be a damn fool to not understand why having 2 incomes is a lot better than having just one. Like, having one person just paying the bills while another person is doing nothing, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Like, both of y'all can have a job. That person can pay whatever bills, you can pay the small bills, it don't matter. That person can pay all the bills and you could be in charge of saving. But in this economy, man, you need teamwork.
The uber rich will tell you stuff like, oh, money isn't everything, money doesn't make you happy, but could never imagine living a life without money. They tell you that money doesn't mean everything, but could never imagine giving up all their wealth to someone who is less fortunate. They could never imagine that. The thing is, in some ways, they're right. Money will never make you happy. And a lot of times with them, they do anything for money, which causes their misery. When you really get to the super top, you realize how fake everything is. All of this money talk is fake. It's made up. And that's why they say stuff like money isn't everything, because for them, money isn't real. It's made up. They just make a bunch of numbers, decide how things go, and then see their accounts triple. Also, they're not struggling or fighting for survival. So once you reach a certain level of wealth, you no longer think about stuff like, oh, can I pay my bill on time? Also, during all these times of economic downtime is when people get rich. They literally do this on purpose. They crash the markets, they destroy everything. They know that they're borrowing at high rates. They know what they're doing is going to cause a bubble, and they do it anyway. Because their philosophy is that money isn't real anyway, so why not just do anything?
Hold on, what bills do y'all have due on the first of the month? Because when I think about it, I don't have no bills outside of rent due on the first. I'm really trying to figure it out. The bills is due all throughout the rest of the month. Car insurance, phone, all that. That hit me at the end of the month. So I don't even have time to be mentally in my right mind by the time the first roll around. They meant back in the day by the first of the month bills. Damn time, these ain't no first of the month bills. It's more like daily. You done earned yourself a daily pass to bills. Something getting auto-drafted every day. Then ain't that something how we gotta be so sneaky? We done came up with these ideas that, okay, you know what, I'm gonna put this card down. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lock that card. So they gonna think they getting the money, but it's gonna reject every time they try to get it. Oh, and then this card right here, what I'm gonna do is, see, I know I don't got no money in that account. So I'm just gonna let them auto draft. You know, they think they gonna get some money, but it's really gonna be an overdraft. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, then I'm shooting my own self in the foot. Cause then when I look at my account, I'm gonna owe the bank cause the overdraft fees, cause they charge you for not having no money cause it needs to be broke. What a time to be alive.
A lot of people grow up hearing that if you save consistently, everything will eventually work out. That advice still has value, but it still feels much harder to believe because one unexpected expense can erase months of progress. Someone finally gets a few $1,000s saved up, then their car breaks down, their insurance goes up, their rent increases, maybe they have a medical bill they weren't expecting. Suddenly, the account they spent months building is back to where it started. That cycle can be incredibly discouraging because it makes progress feel temporary instead of permanent. You start wondering whether you're actually moving forward or just preparing for the next thing that's going to cost you money. Saving almost starts feeling like a reset button over and over again. None of these expenses are exciting purchases either. They're just normal parts of life that almost everyone has to eventually deal with. Even people who budget well can run into situations they simply can't predict. That's why so many people say building savings feels so much slower than they expected. The goal isn't getting rich overnight anymore. For a lot of people, it's just hoping the next surprise doesn't erase everything they worked for.
Your pay stubs. Take a look at your pay stubs. I know you don't want to, but look at them. I think as a collective, if we all paid attention to truly just how much money is getting taken out of our paychecks, we would be a lot more angry than we are right now. I am a travel nurse and therefore I stock my pay stubs because over the course of the years, I have found that agencies and hospitals make many mistakes when it comes to my hourly pay, especially if you're hourly. Be checking your pay stubs. And right now, I get paid bi-weekly in the state of Colorado. I am paying $700 plus bi-weekly in just federal taxes. That's not including state taxes. That's not including Social Security. That's not including Medicare and Medicaid. And that is not including the Colorado Family Leave Act. That is just federal taxes. $1,400 plus a month to the federal government. And for what? What am I seeing? How am I reaping the benefits of that? Not to mention paying the absurd sales tax in the state of Colorado, paying property taxes and excise taxes, taxes on your ass, taxes on your nose, taxes on your mother, like everywhere you turn. We pay taxes on absolutely everything we touch and everything we do. Like, why am I paying taxes for my RV spot? Why am I paying a sales tax on my RV spot? Like, everywhere you turn, you are paying a tax. $1,400 plus a month in just federal taxes. Just. And where is it going? Where's it going? Because our military's over there running out of food to fight this fake war. They're not going to be able to sustain this war financially. Yet our DoD budget is $1 trillion. And it was just proposed to be bumped up to $1.5 trillion. I'm paying back my student loans to a department that doesn't exist anymore. I'm paying Colorado state taxes so that I can damn near flatten a tire and get my windshield cracked every single time I head on the highway. I used to think the money was going to the DoD, and now I think it's just going straight into their pockets. And no, this did not just start with this administration, by the way. So before we say that, this is not just like a year and a half old problem. It's not. It's been happening for a long time now, right under our noses. And obviously, yeah, they're worse. And there are many things going wrong right now. And I'm sure a lot more theft is occurring in the biggest pyramid scheme the world has ever seen. But it's nothing new. We are going to be the story of a failed society that got robbed and then collapsed. Good night.
Then there's the paycheck itself. Before you even think about buying something fun, a huge chunk of that money already has somewhere it needs to go. Rent or a mortgage comes first. Utilities don't stop showing up. Insurance keeps getting paid every month. Groceries are something you can't avoid. Gas costs money if you need to drive. Phone bills, internet, subscriptions, and other recurring expenses quietly add up without people even thinking about them. Taxes take another portion before many people even see their full paycheck. By the time all those necessities are covered, what's left over can feel surprisingly small. That doesn't automatically mean someone is wasting money. It usually means the list of required expenses has gotten longer while the room to save hasn't grown very much. A raise can definitely help, but if several bills increase around the same time, they can feel like that extra income disappears almost immediately. That's why some people say they make more money than they used to, but somehow don't feel much different financially. The paycheck itself isn't necessarily smaller, it just has a lot more jobs to do than it did before. When every dollar already has a purchase before it even reaches your bank account, getting ahead starts feeling less like building momentum and more like trying to stay one step ahead of the next bill.